Every day, we witness it. Injustice without reason, innocent lives torn apart, children screaming in war zones, families broken by forces they never chose, good people crushed, while the wicked rise untouched. And sooner or later, the question creeps in. If this world has a creator, what kind of being would make it this way? You don't need faith to ask that, just eyes. Because when cruelty feels baked into the blueprint of existence, when suffering isn't the exception, but the pattern, you begin to wonder, is this really the work of a loving God, or something else entirely? What if the world wasn't made for us to thrive, but to survive? Not shaped by love, but by something alien, indifferent, or worse, amused by our pain? What if this was never our world at all? Not heaven, not hell, but a kind of beautiful prison, crafted by a mind not evil in the way we define it, but twisted, playful, cruel in ways we'll never fully grasp. A trickster, one who hides behind sunlight and routine, who gives us joy just to take it away, who teaches us love, so it hurts when it's gone. Would you notice? Or would life go on, just as it always has, because facing the truth is harder than ignoring it? Today, we're not here for comfort. We're here for the question most refuse to ask. What if the devil didn't tempt us into this world, but built it? Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really behind it. Let's begin with something simple. Have you ever played a video game that felt a little unfair? Maybe the rules keep changing, or the obstacles seem designed to catch you out, no matter how hard you try. Now, imagine if reality itself was a bit like that game. Not broken, but rigged in ways you can't see. This isn't just a random thought. The famous philosopher Descartes wondered about this in the 1600s. He asked, what if there's a genius trickster, a demon, constantly keeping us in the dark about what's real and what's not? At first, that sounds ridiculous, but think about it. Don't we all get fooled sometimes? Optical illusions, dreams that feel real, memories that turn out to be false. Descartes used this idea to question everything. His goal wasn't to be paranoid. It was to see if anything was truly certain. But take this idea one step further. What if the world wasn't just occasionally tricky, but built from the ground up by a being whose nature is to deceive, to challenge, to make things unpredictable? Instead of a perfect designer with a flawless plan, what if the creator actually liked it messy? Why does this matter? If you've ever watched a movie or read a book, you know every great story has both a villain and a hero. Sometimes the villain isn't just evil. They're fascinating, charming, and even a bit relatable. Think about the Joker from Batman, or Loki from Norse mythology. These characters don't just want to hurt people. They want to disrupt the order, shake things up, force others to question what's right and wrong. And in real life, haven't you ever felt the urge to break a rule? Not because you wanted to cause harm, but because the rule seemed unfair, or you were curious to see what would happen if you didn't follow. It's a universal feeling, that itch not to obey, to be a little rebellious. In Goethe's play, Faust, the devil, Mephistopheles, isn't just a monster. He's someone who asks bold questions, who refuses to accept the world as it is. He's about creativity, disruption, and sometimes helping people see things they'd rather ignore. So, if the world was made by a devil, maybe the chaos isn't a mistake. Maybe it's intentional. A world filled with confusion is a world filled with choices. Maybe we're meant to struggle, to wonder, to fail sometimes, because that's what makes life real and interesting. Now, let's get personal. Imagine for a moment you're the creator of a world. You have two options. You can make everything perfect, predictable, safe, or you can throw in some wild cards: love and loss, kindness and cruelty, joy and heartbreak. Which world would you choose? If you pick perfection, maybe nobody ever gets hurt. But also, maybe nothing ever truly changes. People might be comfortable, but they might also be bored, numb, never challenged or surprised. If you add a bit of danger, a bit of unpredictability, suddenly, every choice matters. Every act of kindness is risky. Every friendship is hard-won. Every triumph is earned. This idea pops up in religion too. Take Milton's Paradise Lost. There, Satan says, "Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven." Right or wrong, it's the cry of someone who wants to be free, even if it hurts, even if it means chaos. Maybe in a devil-made world, freedom is the gift. Not safety, not certainty, but the chance to choose what to value, even in the dark. If you've made it this far, you might feel a bit uneasy. If everything is topsy-turvy, how do you know what's real? How do you decide what matters? Maybe that's the real trick. In a world where good and evil aren't handed down from on high, we have to make up our own minds. Think about your own life. Have you ever found beauty in something broken? An old photograph, a piece of music that aches, a moment of laughter in a dark time. Sometimes the most meaningful things are born from pain, not in spite of it, but because of it. That's the lesson artists, poets, and philosophers have chased for centuries. If suffering exists, maybe it's not a system bug. Maybe it's the very thing that makes compassion possible. If the world is full of unanswered questions, if even morality is suspect, then every good thing we do, every bit of hope we create, matters more, not less. So, what's left? Let's circle back to that morning. You woke up doubting everything. The truth is, you're not powerless in a reality built by a devil, or maybe just by a universe that doesn't play by heaven's rules. You, me, everyone become not just characters in a story, but co-authors. We decide what means something. We choose to care, to help, to rebel, to celebrate. The next time you see a sunset, or help a stranger, or simply choose wonder over cynicism, remember, maybe the world is broken on purpose. Maybe we're meant to fix tiny pieces of it here and there. And maybe that's the bravest thing anyone can do. So, what if the world is created by a devil? Maybe this question isn't about despair. Maybe it's about courage. The courage to laugh, love, struggle, and search for meaning, even when no one guarantees you'll find it. Maybe living in a messy, uncertain world is our greatest adventure. The chance to ask, what if? And then to answer it for ourselves. One act at a time. Stay curious. Keep asking questions. The story keeps going as long as you're willing to wonder.